So a lot of these guys, young men are young men are young men. They want affirmation. They want a challenge. They want to belong somewhere. They want to achieve something. They want to, quote unquote, rescue the princess. They want the girl, to go after the girl. They want the validation from other guys. All of those things cross any socioeconomic or religious lines across the board. So, and then they're hurt by the same things. They're made sad by the same things. And,
Mhm.
they've, because of their situation, sometimes those come out in different ways. But what you end up finding is a lot of the same negative coping mechanisms come out. My friends on one side of the tracks, so to speak, it's like, hey man, we're gonna go deal drugs and we're gonna go smoke weed and we're gonna go, like that's gonna be it. And then some of these other guys, it's like, yeah, man, we're gonna go deal drugs and we're gonna go get on prescription pills because we have access to better stuff, right? And we're doing coke and we're doing like, but it's the same pattern,
Right.
right? It's just, they have access to different things, and
Hmm.
it's the same destructive behaviors, but it's all rooted in the same desires.
Hmm.
And so the conversations with them weren't much different, you
Do
know?
you think young men lack a direction and mission in life? And really just men in general. I guess it's not just young men.
Well, I think it is men in general now. It's men,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, a lot of those men are raising young men, right? And so,
Hmm.
yeah, we have. I don't think that's the factory setting. What I mean by that is, I think we are designed with that mission in our heart. I think we're designed ready to rock and roll and to take on these challenges and to seek them out and to take on responsibility. But what's happened is culturally, we've done a lot of things to degrade that. We have lowered the bar for what it means to be a good man and what it means to be a young man. We have this whole concept of a teenager, which is interesting, and people go, "Well, yeah, of course there's teenagers." Well, that the term teenager didn't exist until 1944.
Hmm.
Before that, it was just, okay, you're of age now, let's take on some more responsibility, right? You're
Yeah.
16, let's get married. Let's go be a surveyor, live on your own for a week, let's go lead these men into war. Like
Hmm.
the concept wasn't there. It was, you are a young man, but you're a man, right? And we had these rites of passage that you walked into that and it's time to get to work. So
Hmm.
continuously lowered the bar and lowered the standard for males in general. So we've done that culturally. We've part of the mission of the conveyor belt school system, of the public school system, was to delay getting young people and young men specifically into the workforce. It was to create perpetual infants by not giving them a chance to take on this responsibility when they're full of piss and vinegar as a young guy. Uh,
Hmm.
and they want to get out there and they want to work and they want to get after it and they want to try to get some new ideas and they want to try new things. It was like, no, let's delay them. Let's dumb them down. Let's bore them to death. Let's get them trained on obedience so that by the time they enter the workforce, they're just these broken spirited ponies that are like, look, man, just show me what to do and where to go.
It's cogs
Uh,
in the wheel.
Cogs in the wheel,
Hmm.
right? So we've got the cogs in the wheel there. You've got the cultural, continuously dumbing down what males are supposed to be. And then you've got endless distractions now as well, right? So, things like video games and, all of that is, again, I say this and people get really mad because they're like, you're vilifying video games or parents that let their kids play games. Man, I'm not do whatever you want to do. But the reality is there are a lot of young men who are getting all of those DNA boxes of going after an adventure and checking the box of like taking on responsibility and collaboration and that side by side, we're on a mission together. They're getting that checked off in artificial means. They're getting
Hmm.
it checked off through a video game, and then they get the female component, the let's go chase the girl. Well, that gets checked off in artificial means through pornography. And
Hmm.
well, what do I even have to leave for? Like, I'm getting my adventure over here. I'm getting my girls over here. I never have to leave the house. I can sit here and be a fat piece of garbage. I don't have to actually be a good human. I don't have to connect with it. Like, I don't have to
Yeah.
actually do anything to get all these things checked. And that's a really, really dangerous spot for us to be. And then,
Yeah.
you put young men in this false environment of a school, that, you know, is telling them at 5, here, go be bored and sit here and listen to this person and do this forever. And if you don't do it, well, something's wrong with you. It's a deficiency. So
Hmm.
you're probably lacking methamphetamine. So we better
Yeah.
get you up on that, right?
Well,
So
what do? They diagnose you with ADD medicine,
right.
ADHD medicine, and
Yep, and
just
you're on
yeah.
prescription stuff, you know. So
Hmm.
we've got a really it's a multifaceted, very nuanced issue. But unfortunately, we've been playing that game for so long as a culture that most people don't even stop to think about it. It's just the norm.
Hmm.
And so when I say our mission is to bring people back to freedom and sovereignty, you will have a lot of enslaved people who go, "Oh, good for you guys. We're free."
Hmm.
The best way to keep a slave is that the slave doesn't know they're a slave.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
you don't know you're not free. You don't know that you're not sovereign because you've never stopped to consider that you're still tied to so many different things, beliefs, right?
Hmm.
Negative, like negative things from your past. You're tied to things financially. You're tied to things from the government. You're tied to food, water. Like you're not sovereign. And there's a
Right.
lot of different ways that that plays out negatively for humans.